Hmm.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Hello. Okay, we're in the green. Good. And to readjust audio levels because we did our awesome live yesterday. And yes, evening all. Hi, Stuart. I feel like I just saw you recently.
You did.
I did.
You see me all the time.
Pretty much. Trekyards is such sweet sorrow.
So yeah, hi guys. Sorry we're a little bit late,
Oh, yes.
but yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, this should be an interesting talk today. It should be episode 11.
Yeah, we're getting almost halfway.
Yes.
Did you like my thumbnail choice? It's kind of hard to represent everything in this episode, but I just thought, oh, it's all with Troyan, because really, nothing else comes back except Troy. So I thought it kind of made sense.
It's not the one I would have used, but yeah, interesting. I would have used just the girl on the view screen.
Yeah, but if you didn't know, you just think that's a random. Like you wouldn't know that episode is just a random lady. Whereas like, oh, it's the one with the Troy.
Me. The N23 says good episode. Fat Produce puts in $5. Who here is ready for Armin Shimmerman playing a creepy silver talking box face? Hashtag the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Weird shit we see sometimes on Star Trek. It's just like, oh.
It's like just someone thought of that, and no one said no. You know?
Yeah.
Wasn't necessarily a good idea. It was just sort of an idea.
It would have been better just to have a goddamn box with a view screen on it that had a face that popped up like Holly from Red Dwarf. Been like, hello. But
I think the makeup was pretty well done though, considering.
Considering what?
Don't go further in asking me questions. That's all I have to say on that. Don't continue that line of thought. I can't justify it, Stuart. Don't make me justify it.
Yeah.
But before we start in our pre-vamp discussion bit, while waiting for you guys to join in, we do want to say a massive, crazy thank you to everyone out there that has already given in our Indiegogo. We did a really cool stream yesterday, and I don't know how you felt when you woke up today, Stuart, looked, and what you saw. I mean, how did you feel?
We've done a few of these, and I was kind of like, oh, that's cool.
Damn it,
the last half was the hardest half.
Yeah. Wow, that was anticlimactic. Yes, we managed to raise 43% in 5 minutes. It'll be 24 hours. $5,265 via 43 donations, which is absolutely amazing. Getting half in the first day completely blows any of our campaigns away, and also given how much that was. I mean, this is, if you think of like Mission Canada, Mission America, the first one was $2,500. Boy, we had low. Oh, because we obviously had Denver paying, didn't we? But
yeah.
So we've already done two and a bit times Mission America. Mission Canada, we tried to raise 1,500. We got 2,700. So we already doubled Mission Canada 1, and Mission Canada 2, we asked for 1,500 and got 7,000. And that's because we had the Patrick Stewart, and that's because we had the celebrity prints, and we had the 3 designs by Sean Turner and some really cool stuff. And so we're already as much as our first 2 mission campaigns, in a sense. So doing absolutely amazing, and we'll mention that some other time in the stream because lots of time left. But as you guys might have seen, we had the William Shatner prints, signed by Captain Kirk on a Enterprise, and they're already gone. The 5 we had already gone. So if you want one of the perks, do get it sooner rather than later because they're likely to go, as many have already started going. So yes,
indeed. But they're not here to listen to us ramble about that. They want to hear this review of Haven.
Yeah. Well, 7 for 1 feels good. So I'll let you talk to the fans specifically, and I'll share.
All right. Area 51 puts in $5. The hot blonde on the plague ship. Yes, great minds think alike, sir. Well, I personally don't find her very attractive, the lady on the flagship, at all. But, you know, teach their own.
For me, she looks older than I think she's meant to be. I don't go for older women. She's obviously like in her 30s playing in her 20s and doesn't quite fit. And she's got too pointy a face for me. Just personal preference, but it's like...
Yeah, I don't find her attractive at all.
Yeah, wouldn't have been my choice.
So...
But, you know, you brought it up, not us. So, to be fair, so... that's all. Sorry, I'll go back to showing.
Hello?
I'll go back to showing, it's fine. I've said my piece.
Oh, okay. But yeah, guys, if you want to help out the channel, you can do so. Get your voice heard, your question answered, your comment read, whatever, by doing super chats. Super important, and they really help us out, and they help you guys out. It's easier for us to see because it's in a separate chat window. And yeah, we got our moderators here, of course, as well. They'll be chatting with you guys in the chat, and the chat is important, but I don't even know if you guys can hear me at this point because it says bad connection and Samuel's frozen, but...
Well, we can hear him, yeah, just fine.
Okay, that's good.
And side comment, if you mind. Matthew DeFreitas asks, how did you get the actors to take pictures with the prints? Did you have to pay extra? Matthew DeFreitas, if you're buying like 7 or 8 prints, that's quite a lot of money going to them in one go. They take personal requests, and it's also half said yes, half said no. But it's kind of like, I'm giving you $300. All I want extra is a bit, you know, it's pretty. You ask in a nice way, they'll do it.
Yeah, and I don't know why they says no to that. No, you can't take a picture of me signing your thing. It's like, really? You're that special? You're too good for me to take a picture of you signing this thing that I'm giving you? Like, really?
Yeah, we only had about
that just annoys me.
7 no's, but you know.
Yeah. I'd be like, yeah, I'll take a picture. Give them cross eyes or whatever. Just goof around. But anyway, yeah, guys, if you want to be part of the discussion and make sure that you get seen by us, because the chat does fly by pretty quick. Super chats are a great way to do so. We got some good super chatters who always join. Eugene just put in one as well. Eugene is back. So always great people doing that. And thank you very much. It means a lot. That really helps us out on a daily basis to keep the channel afloat and going strong. So Eugene says, or puts in 1,000 rubles. Thank you very much, Eugene. Yay, Indiegogo campaign has a great momentum. I'm very fond of Loxana Troy, as I think a lot of us are. This is her first appearance in this episode, which is great. And we kind of have her character nailed down from the beginning, I guess. But we'll get into that as we talk about the review a little bit. I'm just waiting for Samuel to finish his sharing of the links. So guys, if you have time and are you able to go check out the Indiegogo campaign, there might be some cool stuff for you there that you might be interested in. Like I said, we finally got the Trekyards comm badges and stuff, which people have been asking for a long time. We got a bundle pack, and they are available individually as well. So if you guys are interested, go jump on that. Loxana Troy, she would go on to do several episodes of TNG and a few of DS9. That's right. She also becomes the voice of the computer, which she wasn't in 2 episodes ago. I think it was 2 episodes ago. The voice of the computer was somebody else. But she has become the voice of the computer, absolutely.
Hello. There we go. I'm done now.
And number one special puts in $10. Thank you very much.
Oh.
I refuse to call you no one special. Just got paid, so here is what I can do to help. Hey, thank you very much. That's greatly appreciated. Thank you. But yeah, first episode featuring Loxana Troy, who becomes a series regular. So she's kind of been around since
not series regular.
Day one. She was number 1, and then she was Nurse Chapel, and yeah, she's just been a constant fixture in Star Trek. So glad she was around for this one.
I remember they said they recorded a ton of her lines to possibly use in future shows, but you know, didn't do it in Discovery. Maybe they'll do it in Picard. Obviously, kind of cool to have the computer come back. I mean, you would assume that when they recorded the sound, even in the 80s, they'd record, you know, professional level sound, and so all of her shields are 10%. You'd assume there is a raw out there at full quality. You know, when they redid TNG Remastered, you assume they saved all that stuff, and so they should have back in HQ a full catalogue of everything she ever did. So if you want to splice it, I mean, there should be a ton of stuff.
Yeah, and as long as they got to do the phonetics as well, you can pretty much put anything together with a little bit of tweaking. With a little bit of tweaking, yeah, you can definitely. Fat Produce puts in $5, so thank you. Support their Indiegogo. They're looking for things that make them go to places. We're looking for things that make us go to places.
Jeff got his Sternback print yesterday. Yeah. Thank you so much. We have so much cool stuff, and we'll talk about it again at a separate time. But Stuart, let's jump into this episode. So I've got 2.5 pages of notes. What is your overall summary, spoiler summary of this episode? And it might then change after we talk about it. Let's see.
It's as shit and as boring as I remember it to be. Not a very interesting story, and it's a tale as old as time. The prearranged marriage thing. Da 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 da. I don't know. It was exactly what I expected and remembered, and I'm just not super impressed. Hello?
Yes, I'm just trying to deal with it. You keep talking.
Oh, your video went.
I know.
Usually, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm on this one. It's not really a great episode at all.
Okay, so I went in thinking this is one of those really less good episodes, but I think it's better than I remember. I was trying to find reasons to hate it, or at least not enjoy it, but I couldn't find as many. I think it suffers from weird pacing from the second half. The first half I think is a darn good build, except the Troy stuff. But if you remove Troy stuff, this end sort of lets it down a bit. But it's got some fun comedic elements. The acting by some is strong, some is actually quite weak. But it's definitely not as bad as I remember. It doesn't have much to recommend it, but it's definitely not as bad as I wanted it to be. So I give it credit for being better than my memories.
Well, that's good, because it absolutely lived up to my expectations.
Yeah, okay. So, something from thumbnail to premiere, and we go.
And it starts with a Beta Classius planet known as Haven that they're approaching. Which they say is believed to have mystical healing powers, mend souls, and heal broken hearts. Ah.
Yeah, I found this funny that we already had like 3 episodes ago. Oh look, a perfect planet. And here we are. Oh look, another perfect planet. It's like, really? You couldn't think of 2 different starting scenarios in 3 episodes apart, really? It's like we just had that. Come on. And I'll say it now. They go to this planet to chill out. But by the end, they forget they're there to chill out and just leave without having done the chill out bit. Because our A plot is done. They forgot they had their own B plot. And it's like, you didn't even bother remembering the start of the script, did you, script writers? Let's leave even though we just arrived here for some other reason. Ah ha ha! Sorry, it's just, don't set up a premise and then completely ignore it. Because lols.
Yeah.
Just the ending's just not good in general, but yeah.
Yeah, well. So then you got Pervert Riker in his quarters, looking at a really nice set of holograms there, little harp players, which is kind of creepy and weird, just the way he's like looking at them. But
Stuart, you wouldn't.
What else do they do?
You wouldn't call this a creepy face, would you? And yes, I'm doing a dramatic zoom.
What's that? Sorry, you got cut out there.
I'm doing a dramatic zoom. So you tell me if it's really a creepy face or not when it comes around. I bet you'll think it's amazing. Yeah, that face, that's not a creep at all. No.
Yes, it is. Just picture some bushes in front of it. Oh man.
Yeah, I keep doing.
But yeah, I'm sure those women have been unclothed in other holographic representations in his quarters.
That's Riker Harp 2. You know, starts out with softcore, then it ends in hardcore. Although, to be fair, Troy does. Luxon does mention pornographic, so porn still exists in that context. I wrote a note for that. I was like, oh, we mentioned porn. Okay, cool, fair enough. Yeah, we got one of our first. Is this our first hologram of some person? We had the hologram of the star cluster. Is this our first Discovery Star hologram on a dedicated, specific thing?
I think so. Yes.
So they do have holograms in TNG, but they're not like walking around full on. But I guess they don't have TV, so I guess it's the closest they can get hologram thing. But it was. I mean, it's cool. Well, it's really weird. And I guess it's only there to remind you that he has a like sex drive. Because he should be looking at pictures of him and Deanna at the academy, or going through old tapes of them on Beta Z, coincidentally, and then they happen to meet someone. Like, why is this?
No, that would be too much of a coincidence. We would call that out, being that's bullshit. But that he was just happened to look at these at this point. It's
but this doesn't add anything except he likes the girls. Look, like, what does this add? Apart from budget, I don't want to.
I don't know. The signal's really shit tonight. You keep cutting off. I don't hear what you're saying. I don't know. This is something I completely forgot was even in this episode or even existed in the world of TNG.
Yep.
So, it's just showing that there's different forms of entertainment, I guess, besides the holodecks, because they haven't used the holodecks in a few episodes. So, I don't know. Red Palace puts in $20. Thank you very much, Red Palace. Hashtag Creepy Riker.
Yes. Very, very much so. And dude, you're coming in like a storm. You're a new fan, I believe you said yesterday, and you've already given so much. So thank you, because that's a lot for Team Trekyards. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then the box beams in.
Odd parcel beaming in from Haven. Yes. Hello. But yeah, you can tell it's Armin Shimmerman.
Oh yeah.
I just think a screen on there would have been better than that, because that looks like crap.
I think it looks pretty cool. It's ambitious, and he's blended in pretty well. And
or save the hologram, the hologram technology for this.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Do the holograms. Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah, have the face project above the box or something.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyway,
it's quirky Beta Z stuff, isn't it? It's a setting you up that this is a weird one, I guess.
Maybe.
And then he says,
anyway,
he says wedding party because things are gonna happen, and Troy's like, oh no, and you can tell straight away this is not a progressive thing that she wants to do. She's like, oh no, and it's like, oh great, this is gonna be exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, her reaction to it all. It's like she doesn't want to do that.
Yeah. Then it explodes jewels all over the place. Jewels. These are jewels. Jewels are bonding gifts. I don't know. This whole thing bothers me.
Yeah, you didn't need that either. I guess they're trying to pad the runtime a little bit with Quirk, because this entire scene actually probably. It's if you have 45 minutes, this is like a short one, I think. Tell a good story. You don't need this.
Well, this is the pre-commercial dun 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 dun. Like she's gonna get married and leave the ship. Dun 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 dun. Excitement thing.
Oh, good. It really excited
Which
me.
They need for everything, apparently.
No, not so great. Not a great opening.
No. But then we get the episode name, Haven. Yay. Yeah. And then the Ready Room thing, talking about the genetic bonding that they do. I wrote down specifically genetic bonding, so it's like.
So it's not just arranged, it's you have good genes, therefore.
I think, yes. And plus, his family's not even Beta Z, they're human.
Well, so was her dad. They said that her dad and his dad were friends.
Yes.
So it's human-sided for some reason. And arranged marriage. It's weird that even Picard says,
it's outdated.
A thing that isn't even good in the 24th century, and it's like, really? This is a thing that's still. It's kind of like, I know it's. Although what's weird though, the episode isn't even about the arranged marriage. That's what's weird. It's not even being a moral story of don't do arranged marriages. They're not going to go well. It's more a thing of, if you're not careful, psychics from across the galaxy are going to go in your dreams and make you see people for 20 years, and then you have to lie to Starfleet to get into a place where you can talk to them and then beam with them plague ship. The arranged marriage is almost is just the buffer to get to the thing. At the end of it, she's happy to marry him. You actually see her acting soften a ton, so you don't think she's going to be super unhappy. Not necessarily.
Well, he even asked her, "Are you sure you want to do this?" She's like, "Yes, I do." It's like, well, you could have opted out there, but okay. Fat Produce puts in $2.
Oh,
those uniforms wouldn't hide space boners. No, they wouldn't indeed. They would not. Unless it's some kind of, special fabric that, restrains that kind of thing. Who knows? So anyway, Picard leaves them alone in the red room, and we get this whole discussion. All you want more than anything is to be a starship captain. But please come dance at my wedding. It's like, okay.
Naked.
All right.
Naked.
I will if I can.
I talked about this with my dad actually about this episode briefly. The acting is good on some people, bad on others. Riker takes an absolute dive in terms of performance in this episode. Like, off a cliff. He's the worst actor of this episode, by far. In my opinion, anyway. I think it's because we've had...
Who is?
Riker. Frakes.
Oh.
Like, just the absolute worst in this one to a mile. The problem is that they had the pilot, they had one exchange, right? Have they mentioned their previous love any time after that?
Didn't hear a word you said.
See, it's funny because
you froze, and all I came back was this.
So you're crystal clear. You're crystal clear. Something on your end, Stuart, because I'm streaming at full res, and I'm crystal clear. You're crystal clear. Do you want to restart? Do you want to restart Skype, Stuart? Because everything's perfectly fine on my end.
I'll call you right back.
Okay.
Hold up.
But when I'm not by everyone, we'll see in a second. There you go. Weird. Dan23 says, naked wedding. Ron Phillips says, that's the Federation for you. The experiencing of cultures and traditions without prejudice for all who wish it. Yeah, you can't just outlaw everyone's costumes, especially if they're not overly harmful per se.
Well, I'm back, and you look clear already, so that's good.
Yay.
And Trek Reviewer says, despite being aired later in the season, this episode was produced as the third episode after the pilot. So this was one of the earlier ones, but kind of got shuffled and pushed back, I guess.
That'd make sense. I was trying to say that the Riker's the worst performance in this episode by a long way. Like, he just takes a dive, but that would make sense. It's the third episode. But I was trying to say that he doesn't know how to act this episode, because we saw them have one conversation in the pilot. If it's third episode, there we go. But in terms of chronological, have they touched upon their previous relationship at any other point in these 11 episodes?
The very first one where he comes on board.
That's what I mean, apart from that. Oh, and Naked Now, where it's like, do you want me? But apart from those, it's not been mentioned. And so as an actor, what have you got to draw on? You meant to act, I'm losing her, but they haven't got that chemistry, they haven't got that, they don't know what it's meant to look like, he's poorly directed. Like, you don't buy it,
I kind of do. He comes across as a sulky teenager that's not getting his way, and his girlfriend's interested in somebody else. That's what he's coming off as. And it does kind of have that huffiness. And
that's problem is that's not how he's feeling. That's not the motivation of the episode. That's not where he should be. So the direction's wrong. Like, that's not the situation, It's weird.
No, I think it is the situation, because now that they're serving together, I think he hopes that there might be hope for them for the future or whatever. I don't know. That's kind of the vibe that I get.
He hasn't tried at all. He could have asked her at any point, and if he wants to be a captain, she takes him out of the running because you want to be captain, that's not with me. Then, he's the one that's causing the barriers here, not her. If he asked her out, I'm sure she'd say yes. So,
I kind of disagree with you, but okay.
Fair enough.
I see your point.
Fair enough. But I do actually kind of like the Dance My Wedding, because I think that's quite genuine the way they acted that. Data comes in and says the wedding party arrived, and you got the lady with the cool hat.
The Miller party. Oh, yes. And we learned the guy's name is Wyatt, that she's going to be marrying.
And there he is.
But yeah, awful costuming all around.
I like
He's
her.
dressed, Wyatt is dressed like Mork from Mork and Mindy. He's got the Mork spacesuit. Same cut and everything. Anyway.
Cool. But I have a fun little Easter egg thing here. If you'll indulge me for 2 seconds. So here you have
Sure,
Mr. Star-Crossed Lover, who is giving a nice flower to Deanna, who he thought was someone else.
it's a chameleon rose.
It is. It's actually quite good. But then, oh my goodness, what do we have, Stuart? We have me and that same handsome chap, many years later, pointing a rifle at the camera.
I wouldn't know because I can't see it.
How funny is that?
I'm waiting. Who is this guy?
Robert Knepper. He's a big character actor in a lot of sci-fi, a lot of Canadian stuff.
Okay.
He's mostly villains. He does a very good villain. So Dad actually again pointed out, wow, he played the hero and he was good at it. Whereas he's normally a dickhead, honestly. And so it's just really fun to see him completely, he was this heartthrob and then he found his true calling. That's not that.
Wow.
Yay!
Cool.
He's a real dick in universe.
And,
There you go, guys. Yes.
And Fat Produce puts in $5. Riker is just a member of the Opus Day and just forced his blue balls on himself as a penance. Yes.
Yeah. So what did you think of this actor then, in general?
I thought he was good. It was a good romantic, lead role kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It seems young. It's very kind of like a Romeo and Juliet kind of vibe going on.
Mm-hmm.
But he definitely seems a lot younger than her. I don't know if that's just me that sees that, but
Oh yeah, I saw it. I think that's them more.
yeah, I thought it was a good casting decision. I think.
I think he plays levels well. Like he's not playing it straight. Because that's the tragedy of this episode. He's got this whole other expectation factor, and so everything he's saying is kind of a mask of what he's really feeling. Which is ironic because they can read through his mask. So it's a interesting performance, and it's a bit ethereal. Anyway. And then they say they're gonna look around the ship, but no, he's not tired. Yeah, but they gotta leave because Roxana doesn't want to beam up if they're there, which is an odd thing to put in, but okay. She doesn't like them very much. She doesn't like them very much.
Yes, her mother's a little eccentric, she says. So yeah, they beam in, and there's the whole, "Hey, Captain, how's it going? You can carry my luggage."
Yeah.
Mother, no, it's fine. Trust, I'll take it. And then he can barely lift it, which is it's played really good. I like that.
Mr. Om that beams because he's too tall for the transporter room, so he has to sit on the box in the middle, which is such a small touch that it's barely like a thing, but it's a thing. And so I guess what do you think of Loaxana Troy, and what do you think of Loaxana when you first saw her, and what do you think of her in this one? What do you think of her back in the day?
Oh, she seems very Grecian, like very Greek. The way she's dressed seems like a Greek goddess kind of thing. They kind of have that motif with what she wears. But I think they got her character pretty much spot on since the beginning. They knew what they were going for with it. So. And
I thought she was fun. I think she's super consistent. Like, I bet you Majel had part of the writing job. I bet she wrote some of her own lines. It feels very organic to how she's acting it. Like, it's because how do you pitch that role? I think she had the idea. Like, I think Jean wanted her in it, and then she said, "Well, who's she going to be? I'd love to play this." And then, I get the feeling that's how she was done. Because she's so like almost exactly how she is later on.
Yeah, and they even reference Deanna's accent here, which is cool.
Oh, do they?
And they talk about her old valet Zilo. And how she had to fire him because his thoughts had become quite pornographic towards her, at least according to her. But yeah, they mentioned her accent, and she talked about how Zelo had helped her with that back in the day.
Oh.
That leads into him getting.
Ah.
He was fired because he was a pervert. Well, at least she thinks so. She thinks everybody's attracted to her. So.
I completely missed that. I do like the bags too heavy gag.
And
what's his name? Patrick plays it very well. Very well.
Yes. And Jeff Jacobs puts in $5. Thank you very much, Jeff. They finally got the disembodied face right in time for Worf to epic ally pop that clown's face. 50 likes. Sweet. Go again at 100. Hashtag Troy likes Spike. Don't know what he means about the face thing.
Remember when Loxana gets naked? There's a bubble with Alexander.
Yeah.
The face and the bubble and.
Oh.
Yes. And guys, yeah, do click the like button. 52 likes. Yeah, 134 people watching. So definitely need to click that button. As if you like Loxana, like.
And I like how when they go into the turbo lift, she's just talking, and he's like, passenger accommodations. This is command for the turbo lift. But he's got to kind of shut her up so the turbo lift could hear it. That was awesome.
Which is funny because they're meant to talk via. They make a big thing out of talking via telepathy. But she's so used to, I guess, talking just. If you're thinking, you're thinking because you're just constantly thinking. So she's putting it out there. And Picard is really dealing with it well. I don't think she's not the ambassador or anything, is she, at this point? She's just a famous Talaxian Betazoid. So I guess he must know who she is, in theory, to respect her. Because he's putting a lot of respect towards her that she hasn't actually necessarily earned. Just to put up with this, I
don't think she's anybody special, despite what she thinks. All these titles she holds, they're just nothing. The holder of the rings of Betazoid or whatever, and they're all just rusty rings. It's a title that means nothing, and I think she just spouts it all off to sound more important.
So you think it's just because she likes Troy, and therefore you're my good friend's mum, I'll deal with your crap? Because again, he's not. Again, people say he's Grumpy Picard. A Grumpy Picard would not do this. Yeah. So I'm just saying. I like the fact that we now, because Mr. Om's so tall, we get to see the top of the turbo lift. They had to build a ceiling if they hadn't done before. They had to now.
Yeah, and Troy Macy puts in $4.99.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I'm sure Majel had some input. Being the boss's wife helps. LOL. Yes, absolutely. Yes. And Captain Ron Phillips puts in $5.
Dude, thank you.
All hail the First Lady of Star Trek. May she forever voice all computers for all time. Sorry, Alexa. No offense. We miss you, Majel.
Yeah. And it's sad because I actually managed to meet Majel just before she passed away at Vegas. The one time I went to Vegas, she happened to be there. But obviously you assume they're all going to live forever. So I saw her, I didn't say hi because, she was at the Roddenberry booth. But I remember seeing her, she was, I guess, she was right at the end. She looked very skeleton-like because I don't think she was ill necessarily, just a lot older. But I did get to see her. It's like I got to see Stan Lee, even if I didn't get to meet him or talk to him, just did get to see her in real life.
Of course, the guest accommodations are small but adequate, according to her.
Very big, but okay.
Although you should probably adjust the temperature. And then I love how she's like, "Yes, Captain, you may go," and he kind of backs out of the room.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I feel
I'm gonna make every effort to avoid this woman from now on. I made the initial contact.
Yep.
It's
Well, he tries to. When he's saying, "You must be. We're done now. You must be tired. Need rest." I'm just gonna. Yeah. But I think the direction for Stuart was try something, because you wouldn't think this is how Captain Picard would act, but it's so pitch perfect for the situation. You know, he's not used to dealing with this, but he's just I'm just gonna. So I think Stuart did a tremendous job. He's one of the standouts. I think, not that he's the primary, but I think, really impressive actually.
No, I agree. Then they have this whole conversation about how, I'm just kind of sorry you have to put you through this, but, they contacted me.
Yes. That I thought was interesting.
They tracked me down and reminded me of the vows they had made, blah, blah, blah. And the whole conversation, too, about how can you live with humans? They constantly think one thing and say another. And then, at the end of the scene, she's behind her daughter, kind of feels bad for her a little bit, you can tell. And then that's when the rose changes color again to show the change of emotion.
And I thought this was. I didn't realize that it wasn't her idea. You know, if Loxana had her way, this would never be a thing. So I do appreciate, like, even though she's shown to be eccentric, she's definitely a good mum. As much as she does care, like really does care. She doesn't force her to do stuff. It's. I think you got the balance there quite well. But I want to bring something up to you though, if I've got a good still of it that I really picked up on in this scene because of the high def. Okay, there it is in the turbo lift. Now, if you look at Majel, is she wearing contact lenses? Because she has incredibly large pupils that are all black. I mean, is that some sort of because that really stood out to me. I've never noticed, but again, high def for the first time. That's a massive ass eye. Most of the shots look like she's got pure black eyes. That's not normal.
Yeah, well, that's what Beta Zeds have. All Betazoids have the black eyes. Even
Really?
Suitor did it. Yeah, Suitor did in Voyager.
Well, I noticed him, but
Deanna
really?
Troy's got darker eyes. Yeah, but she's part human, so yeah, it's a Beta Z thing.
So she was wearing. So she had to wear contact lenses every time, but I never noticed for once.
Yep.
Cool. Well, I'm not insane. That's helpful.
Well,
Wow.
you kind of are, but that's okay.
I mean,
We'll look past it.
Thanks. So the Haven people contact them. I was wondering if is this a green screen? Is it a matte painting? Like it's quite a nice view. But anyway, it's random lady. And she's like, "There's a ship incoming. Please deal with it." And they're like, "Oh."
Well, I love how she said an incoming vessel has passed our Stargate, violating our law.
Stargate! Woo!
Yeah. So, okay. And then she goes, Picard says, well, they haven't tried, you've tried to contact them, we've tried to contact them, there's been no answer. And she says, well, no communications is inherently hostile. I mean, maybe.
Bit of an assumption.
Yeah.
I mean, also, it's weird. We know the ship is trying to get sublight. The fact it's trying to get sublight, I mean, if they're scanning it, they can tell it's not overly powerful or special, technologically advanced. I mean, it could just be damaged. I mean, there's... although it's weird that they have no defenses. It's like we've said about K7. Any outpost can't have no weapons. So you're saying if one Klingon bird of prey went here, they could just blow everyone up? Really? There's no shield grid? There's no anything? Really? Come on. It's just silly. You know, Planet of Peace still needs some sort of defense. You know?
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be a risk if they didn't have any, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we get Deanna visiting him in his quarters, and apologize for my mother's honesty. It's a Beta Z trait.
Yeah.
And she promises to try to only be half as annoying.
That's cute. It's
But
just...
she's half Beta Z. Yeah.
I think this scene's pretty well written, considering. Because how the hell do you pitch this? Neither want to do it, but neither are against it per se.
Yeah.
And they kind of feel each other out, but they also know it's more foregone. So it's a well played scene, I think.
Yeah, it is kind of cute the way they did it. We find out that he's a medical doctor.
Oh yes. But I'm guessing not in Starfleet then.
No, he's not.
So what is he? I mean, he's human. Now they live on Earth. So was he just? What does civilian doctor mean? Did he work on a planet for a government and then no longer?
No idea.
I think it'd better if he was actually in Starfleet. Would have made more sense. That's just me.
Yeah. And then she says something stupid. The only other time I felt this way about someone was someone on this ship.
But don't
it's
worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because all he wants to do is command a starship.
If he didn't, I'd totally go after him. But you're in luck. What?
Yeah.
Why did that line happen, Stuart? I don't.
No idea.
I don't get it.
No idea.
I guess it literally is just because we have to remind the audience.
Yeah. Well, and then she goes on to say, I'm a practicing psychologist, so maybe we can work as a team, as a medical team. You're the doctor, I'm the brain person, or the head person.
That's nice.
Yeah. But then she said, oh, go ahead.
No.
Then she says, I would assume you were an artist. Da-da. And you see these pictures. Yeah, I've seen her every night since I was a boy. Knowing you were a Beta Z, I assumed it was you projecting yourself into my mind.
Whispers to me when I close my eyes.
I mean, it makes sense for him to think that. So
I mean, he has nothing else to go on. But
exactly.
how invasive is that? And how much older is she going to be? If she's been drawing this lady for the last however many years, and she's definitely older than him because you see her at the end. I mean, is that
Well,
not...
he's probably drawing her as when as a kid he didn't have the ability to draw, and then as he grew up, she
Yeah,
grew up with him in
true,
his mind. So
true. But I mean, you would think though that you'd tell your parents and they'd be like, I mean, I should go. I should talk to this Troy, this Larksana, the mum, because this is inappropriate. I mean, this hot lady is talking to my son in his dreams since he was 7. Really? And you're gonna marry this? Like, very inappropriate. But I guess maybe not. Not that they don't have any context for that, but it's really. Although they don't, I think they give a totally failing explanation as to how she does this, how this lady can connect with this guy. We'll get there when we get there, but it's a totally nonsense.
well, she's Tolarian. We don't know their powers because they're all dead.
Well, but they don't say they have any. I mean, you can't. They give an explanation. It's bad if they didn't, and it's just been because they're Tolarian, fine. But they dropped the ball on that severely. And they explained that he thought he was surprised. This is why she felt he was surprised, because he was expecting to see her. But are you disappointed? No, you're so beautiful. And don't let a childhood crush make you think otherwise. But this is why I think his acting is interesting, because can you imagine you've assumed you've known the woman you're going to marry for 10 to 15 years, who's spoken to you, in your head, and then it's not the woman you're going to marry. You've had this expectation. I mean, him on the transporter pad, he's really bottling it in, isn't he? He's like, oh, that's not you. Who is this girl I've known for 15 years? Oh my god! Like, he's in a very weird place emotionally to not... Well, who the hell is this woman? Oh, just a childhood crush. It's like, no, it's something else. Doesn't happen to people. I would be quite scared, really. Wouldn't you?
No, I would just think I was crazy.
Okay.
Wouldn't be scared at all. I don't know why you'd be scared of dreams like that, but
Well, you don't have the same...
it's not like she's
dream.
in his dream going, "You're going to be with me. You're mine."
Well, no.
It's just little glimpses he gets of her, like in his subconscious.
Yeah, but for
Of this
15
woman.
years, the same woman every time. I mean, you don't...
It could have been somebody from when he was a baby that imprinted on his mind, and he doesn't know it.
Human
And
brains don't do that. They
Well-
don't... It's not how we think. It's not how we work. And like I said, talk to him as well. I mean, if you had 7,000 dreams about a place, and then you go to that place, and you notice that place before, you'd be like, huh, wow, that's weird. Why does my brain pick that one thing to think about every... I don't even know what it is. Yeah, weird. Weird.
Next scene's up on the bridge, and unidentified vessel traveling at sub-warp speed. Tolarian vessel. Thought they were all dead. They must not be permitted to destroy us or the planet. Dun 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 dun.
I'd
Says it
break.
like, yeah. But they use the magnification. They look at the ship, and it's a neat-looking ship.
It's one of
Gotta say.
and one of Andrew Probert's last designs on the show.
Mhm.
And we know this, obviously. Do you want to recount the story about its design?
Vaguely. I vaguely remember, so I can't really recount it.
So yeah, Gene asked him to design a ship. He was designing it, and then Gene had the idea to do a ship that, Andrew Probert loves Gene's rules because they're his rules, by having line of sight, multiple warp nacelles, all that stuff. And then Gene said, "Well, why don't you have it be a ball of energy? That's the warp, that's the drive." And Andrew was like, "Gene, that breaks all your rules." And he's like, "Well, let's do something fun, make it make sense, have some fun with it." And so Andrew's like, okay. And so design
But
this.
it doesn't break the rules because it doesn't need line of sight nor the pairs rule because it's not a warp capable vessel. It's
No.
traveling at
They say it's damaged. They imply it can go to warp, but it's
Okay.
damaged. Because I mean, remember, no warp. If you can't go to warp, every ship is just your own solar system, or there's no point really. So it has to be warp, capable. Because otherwise, when they mention the plague, if these ships came and destroyed every Tolarian ship, they would only be so many light years away from their planet. All you'd have to do is look at their planets, neighboring 3 systems. You'd find them all for the next 50 years. I mean, they have to be warp capable at some point, otherwise, it's not a race that's worth being scared of. They could never get to Earth at sublight. and they said they've been traveling here for years and years and years. So I guess they knew where to go somehow. Dum dum dum.
Yeah. Then we get the conference scene again. The conference room's starting to be lit a little bit better, but it's still dark.
That was so grainy in this. It looked really bad to me.
Yeah.
Kept doing wides. Yeah, this was really poorly shot.
Well, yeah. And they have the conversation about the infection. Some of them made it to other worlds, but then died and killed off the population of the planets as well. They believe that they had destroyed the last ship 8 years ago. I forget which race.
Well, not them. Yeah, not. It was just a random alien. I hadn't heard them before. Yeah.
So they have to protect Eden or Haven. Sorry. Have to have to help, and they also have to protect Haven from the infection or whatever, and they also have to protect these people that are in need. They need to help them if they are in need. So it's kind of a conundrum they find themselves in a little bit. They have to kind of be helping both of them. So, and I love how Picard says, help me come up with options. And as everybody's getting up to leave, he's like, oh, and second assignment, help with preparations for the joining. And then Riker gets all in a huff and pisses off, storms out of the room like a little baby.
And again, Troy's face, as soon as they mention it, Picard's like, oh, this great thing. And Troy's like, And I was thinking, again, everyone can see she doesn't want to do this. For at least like 10 seconds, her face is saying it all. And she's like, yeah, no, it's fine, everyone. I totally want to do this. I was waiting for a scene where Crush would be like, Troy, do you actually want to do this? Because you clearly don't.
Yeah.
Nope, never came up.
Oh, then we get the reception scene.
Oh dear.
And it starts out with Wyatt's parents asking Captain Picard if he could perform the ceremony, and if all parties agree, and that's when Majel or Waxana pipes up. All parties do not agree. Mr. Holm will conduct the ceremony. He doesn't speak. He'll do it with sign language.
It kind of goes from 1 to 100. This is a very strange scene. It's a long scene. I think it's a good scene overall, but I think this scene didn't know what it wanted to be. Comedy, drama.
A little bit of all that.
It really is. I said this. It's very much like these are the concepts. They just sort of smash into each other. Then none of them are quite crystallizing, but it's kind of like, because Data's making fun faces the entire time, but Roxana's being a real bitch. Sort of like, it's a very tonally, it's all over. I think it's meant to be all over the place, but it's really like
it's the microcosms in the room. Data's having a good time watching Mr. Holm and observing all the human behavior.
Yeah.
Then there's the squabbling. Then there's the uncomfortableness of Deanna and Wyatt because of all the squabbling. So it's actually kind of neat the way they compartmentalize the scene. I think
it's good, but it doesn't feel like one cool scene. It's like I say, it's a microcosm of chaos. Yeah. And
Eugene puts in 750 rubles and says it feels a bit like the Dakir, as far as the ship goes.
Yeah.
Kinda. And Martin Devon puts in £5.
Thank you.
You're putting more thought into this than the writers did. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of our job, though, isn't it? We do that for Discovery. I mean.
Yeah, and they put in no thought really. So, I do like the Data and Mr. Holm thing. How he's like, "Is your lineage mixed as human?" With the way you drink. And Mr. Holm's like, that was so awesome. Like, so insulted by that line.
Yeah, they hired this guy and said, we're going to give him as much to do as possible. And it's funny, the Data stuff's funny, the drinking is funny, he does get drunk. Oh, do you notice there's a bottle of green on the table?
Yeah.
Grab some green. Beverly's hair, looking fancy.
Well, Tash's hair in this scene is amazing, but you hardly see her. But I like the way her hair looks. It looks actually really good. But this room should have been used more often. I like the UFP symbol on the wall.
Yeah, that was nice.
It seems like a good conference type room, and it's never ever seen again. At least in this capacity.
I was thinking, what is it a redress of? I'm trying to think. 'Cause it's something.
I don't know. Looks like what maybe 10 forward eventually became.
I'm sure it's like auxiliary room number 6, which they redress for everything else. I'm guessing. You know,
Yeah.
if they needed this, a lab or something, they convert it into it. Um, oh,
Well, then we
I,
get.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I do quite like Troy's dress for what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
I think she did a good job with that. Uh,
I like her hair too. The way she's got her hair over her shoulder. Like that's really nice.
By God, her hair's long. Like later on, it goes even further down. It's like, oh my God, it's still in a bun. Holy hell! Probably a hairpiece though at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Beverly looks real weird. Hom gets very drunk. I love
Beverly,
the gonk. That's funny.
yeah, Beverly looks like an '80s mom, and yeah, every time Luoxana put a piece of food in her mouth, he'd hit the gong. What's the Beta Z way of giving thanks?
That's why.
Well, you never did it. You never did it before. Well, I do it now. Unlike some people, I am in growth. I just love her little petty bickering with the other lady.
Yes. But it does feel sort of unnecessary. Like we don't know.
Well, they're trying to make that uncomfortableness of. Yeah.
But we don't quite know why. I guess the only reason. Yeah, I guess the only reason is because they tracked them down and forced this. So I guess she's kind of like, well, you wanted this. You get me as a mother-in-law, co-mother-in-law, whatever. Ha 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 ha. But it's a little bit without any build-up. It's kind of just like a thing. It's such a big important thing. Troy and Mike already had a relationship before TNG started. Larry, yes. Big relationship. Love of each other's lives for a bit. Yes.
Yes.
And then you have the weird living plant scene.
Oh, do you like pets? Adore them. Oh, really? Yeah.
And it's like, this was on her the entire time. And just, it's a weird... Yeah.
It looks like a fake rap thing. It doesn't look like it's alive, so that's why it freaked her out.
Yeah. Her acting, that's the worst bit of the acting in the entire episode. Is her like, oh! It's like, no, that was not
I
the
think
right
she
choice.
I think she was supposed to play it like that. Where it's kind of over the top.
Yeah. Plays pet badly.
Yeah. And then they're talking about the ceremony and how everybody's going to have to be naked. It honors the act of love being celebrated. And then she's like, oh, your husband quite fancies the idea of seeing me naked. And then, then there's the whole, stop this petty bickering, especially you, mother. And she takes off. Great scene. Made everybody feel uncomfortable. Love it. Love how families just don't get along sometimes. Oh, and also Data. Picard's like, Mr. Data, you're circling the room like a buzzard. I find this most fascinating, Captain.
And then he asks them to continue their bickering.
Yes, continue the bickering.
It's a fun... And Mr. Hom steals the show as well. His fun acting.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a weird scene. It's very un-TNG. The whole point, remember, Gene said no bickering in TNG Season 1, so to watch his characters sort of fight, even Riker be so pissed off at Troy, like, the chemistry is so odd. It works for flavour, but I think you probably could play the scene a bit better. Like, just refined it a little bit down. But again, if it's the third one filmed, then it makes sense, because they're still right there at the start, I think
it's also showing the fact that even though we're humans and we've advanced in a lot of ways, we're still humans, and we still have the petty disagreements that we have with other humans.
Oh yeah, and they should have had more of that. It's just weird because they didn't plan to, and then they've got this, and it's kind of like, oh, okay. Then we've got a rather well done holodeck green screen. I thought it was very well done. See the arch, the full arch. Planet set we just saw. Yay, and we get a quite a long scene. Mzadi means special one. What was it? It was
my beloved.
My beloved. Can you call me that? The human heart can't be platonic and physical love. And he's like, well, it's not fair on me. It's not fair on me. And as they get going, suddenly Wyatt just walks in, just like, oh hi guys. And it's like, how did you know we were here? What gave you the right to barge in? What are you doing here? Excuse me? It's the most random, like, oh Oh, hi guys.
Well, he knew how they were because he asked the computer, "Where's Commander Riker
I knew that.
and
Yeah.
Troy?"
The thing is, it's
Um,
been at least like an hour, even though it's edited right there because he says later on that his dad's been
yes,
naked in the mirror.
practicing in front of the mirror naked. Yeah.
So they all had to finish the dinner, go back to the room, so to go see his dad. His dad had to get naked and practice in the mirror. Then he went to find Then Troy went to find Riker. So Troy stormed off, went somewhere, waited for a bit. Riker stayed here for like an hour. Then he came through. It's a very weirdly timed scene. Doesn't quite connect.
And she calls him Bill again here.
Oh my god. She does it twice in this episode. Bill.
Yep. I thought the first one I misheard it. I thought it was in the ready room.
Yeah.
I thought she said it, and I'm like, no, it sounded like it could have been Will. It's Will. And then no, here she calls him Bill again. It's like, ugh, please don't do that.
But again, if this was filmed third, then she already made the mistake in episode 2. So she just.
It's not a mistake. It's just they
well.
Bill doesn't suit him. That's all.
No. Maybe it's a reference to Bill Shatner because his preferred is Bill to Friends.
Well, most Williams go by Bill.
Not in England.
Well, I'm not in England, so.
This is fair. This is very fair, Stuart. Yeah, but I just think the scene is good until he turns up because it's weird. Although I love his oh, you're the guy who loves her. Oh, nice. How you doing? Like he's not threatened at all. Like zero shits are given. I love his performance there, even though it's odd, but it's like, oh, fun.
Well, here we learn because of her little explosion, they've come to a compromise. It's going to be half Beta Z, half Earth. Captain performs the ceremony. Mr. Holm is his best man.
Yep.
You and I and your mother and my father go naked.
Very
but
important.
not your mother, but not my mother. Yeah, I just love the compromises that were made. It's like, oh.
Because she stormed out, she forced a peace by storming out. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And then
again, showing times past because they had this discussion and then the practicing in front of the mirror thing. So
yeah, it doesn't quite work pacing wise, but it I guess Riker was actually in that room that holodeck for like 2 hours or something, and she only went to see him an hour in. Whatever. And then
Dan23 asks if William Shatner is Canadian. Yes, he is. Born and raised in Montreal, performed at the Stratford Festival Theatre, which is like an hour from me. But yes, he's Canadian.
Nice. And then they go on this rock and they say, "Do you really want to marry me?" Basically, and she's like, "Yeah." And they have their first kiss, and it's like, "Oh," I think.
Yeah. I don't know why she's so determined to marry him.
I don't know either. I mean, I think from this point onwards, the episode becomes more and more forced. Like we've had the interesting setup, but now it's sort of starting to, unravel a little bit.
Yeah.
Because now the ship is with us. The lady again says, "Hey, deal with them." He's like, "No." And yet they don't do anything until they suddenly do the one thing that solves it. And it's like, oh, why were you all threatening? Why were you worried?
They get within transporter distance of the planet, so they lock the tractor beam on, so they can't beam down.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I mean, they into the last minute they didn't know what to do, and then at the last minute they decided to do that, and it's like, oh, that was easy. It's just again written weird, and what an awful tractor beam effect. As it comes in, it's already moving too fast, and it grabs hold of it, then it does a jitter. It's just a really bad VFX. Ugh. Yeah. Not so good.
I love how the girl on the planet's like, "You must destroy them." And then there's the conversation of maybe the ship's abandoned, maybe they're all dead. Ship could have been brought in with automation. But we find out there's 8 people left aboard the ship.
Yeah, it's weird they don't just scan them. At no point. Long-range sensors, short-range sensors, mid-range sensors.
Maybe Tellurian ships can't be scanned. They have an alloy in the hull that they didn't mention.
Maybe.
But then they message them, and Deanna is like, "Oh my god, that's that girl who needs to eat a taco by the looks of it."
Yeah, she's very thin, and what a cheap set, with absolute god awful controls. They're nonsensical and just there. It's really we have no money. We have 7 unused props.
And he's sitting in Worf's chair that's later in Worf's quarters.
Yeah, this was like with no money for this set. Let's redress and do something else. But again, who cares? The outer ship looks nice. The model's good, but the inner's garbage. But anyway, it is that girl, and it's the guy's daughter. And for some reason, she's at the view screen, just standing just in case. And then the dad's like, "No, daughter, let the man speak." And then speaks, and it's like, what? Okay. Why put her there if that's not...
For that reveal, man. For the reveal. That's the lady that she drew.
Yeah. And he comes on, he's like, "Oh, it's you." And they're like, "Hello, Wyatt, we've been waiting for you." But nicer than that.
And then there's like, you can't beam down to the planet. Well, all we want is an isolated island or peninsula away from the rest of the population.
That's not dangerous at all.
No, it's like, well, this isn't our world to govern. We can't make that decision.
Yeah, they're not going to let you do that anyway.
And then...
No, they're not.
And they're like, we intend to die here, one way or the other. If it's encasing your tractor beam, then so be it.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. But then he goes and has a conversation with Luoxana, and she's like, "Hey, help me pick out what I'm going to wear."
I think conversation's a bit of an overstatement. She says what he's thinking back at him.
Yeah,
which is fun.
And I love how he wanted to help these people. He wanted to help these people in conjunction with Dr. Crusher. And so later, when we see him again, he's got his spiffy duds back on, and he's down in the sick bay, getting things ready. And
but you missed the explanation as to how they've talked to each other for 20 years, because the whole universe is connected, and you both
through the Force.
And you both thought one day that maybe the universe was connected, and therefore you found each other.
Yes.
They had no idea. Garbage.
Because that was an awful explanation.
Garbage.
All I could think of was the Force permeating everything.
It's a really bad, because by that logic, there are millions of people connected across the universe that are basically doing the whole Vulcan hello, mind meld Katra thing. Like, it took some people to be melded with a Vulcan, have their Katra inside you, and use extreme energy. Some of the people just do. It's like, oh, cool. Just say this race has amazing long-range telepath, like, just garbage. I think the person who wrote this isn't a sci-fi writer. That's the vibe I'm getting. They're a different sort of writer. They're more people, so the sci-fi is not particularly good. Like The Box, that's not particularly good sci-fi. That's just a thing. You know what I mean? I think they have different specialities, and they should have had a gene pass of sci-fi, because like having the ship be an impulse only. It's like, really? That means they've been going towards this planet for decades.
That's what's implied. Yeah.
Like, their entire crew died of old age and didn't breed and just waited and like literally for 20 years they probably were in the same system. You know what I mean? Like, the entire life of the woman who's been talking to the guy, they've been only 20 years impulse away from this planet. They're like, you could warp that in minutes. I mean, it's amazing that no one ever bumped into them right next to a pleasure planet when they're literally right there. You know, for 20 years. Big coincidence, Stuart. No one used long-range sensors. No one ever walked in from that direction. Like, they're not far away, guys. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird. But anyway, yes. He takes some meds, takes a hyper spray, and goes to say goodbye to his family.
Yes, and to Deanna.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this is a pretty good scene, actually, in the context of the episode.
Yeah, certainly.
The parents are like, what's going on? But yeah, and the transporter chief's an idiot. Yeah, just put the stuff down over there. I guess he's not really an idiot. I wouldn't expect that from somebody like him, I guess, but still. I don't know.
Yeah. But then he beams aboard, easy peasy, and Geordie is so slow at responding he can't override. No reason, he locked us out. It's just, no, too late.
Yeah.
Really? I guess you're like, oh no, a transporter beam. Oh no, it's beamed. Sir, transporter beam!
Yeah, that's what he probably did. He's probably like, sitting back, just chilling, playing like playing like Bejeweled or something on
Playing
the other side of the
Fortnite.
console. Yeah, and all of a sudden it's like, dude, you see this thing flashes, like, oh shit, I missed it. Oh, there's somebody beaming. Ah. That's what I would do. Oh, anyway. Yeah, so then he beams aboard the ship and sees all these pictures of him as a young kid, all growing up through all the different ages. And
Now, I'll just say one thing about that briefly. The pictures of her are such a good likeness. The pictures of him are not a good likeness. They should have hired the same.
she's not good an artist. That's all.
Oh, I get that, but there's like the quality level is quite extreme, and I'm like none of those really look like him, but the ones of her were pretty much perfect. It's like just
Yeah.
hire the same damn artist to do both because they weren't very good at him.
Yeah, the last two weren't too bad, to be fair. The other ones,
I just think he's got a more unique face to capture, I guess.
yeah, yeah.
And there's the 8 people with the lady hiding behind, I guess, her mum, waiting for the dramatic reveal.
Bum bum bum.
And then reveal, and boy, she looks like she's 35 or 39.
Yeah, she looks like a cougar for sure.
Yeah, she's not. She's not right age for him.
No.
I'm going to do some googling how old she is because she's definitely in her 30s in this episode.
And while you're doing that, I love how they come on the bridge like you gotta bring him back. You gotta bring him back. Well, we can't bring him back. He's on the plague ship. Essentially, I love how even the mom calls him. I will not have my son be over there with those lepers.
Reference,
Comparing them to
man.
lepers. Wow, that's a little. Yeah.
What's the name of the character? Do you know?
I have no
Did you write down? Is it Veleda?
Velveeta cheese, I guess. Yeah.
There isn't that many people in
not-
this cast. Oh no, Araria. Araya? That's her. Okay.
Could be.
Let's have a look. So she's. Oh wait. Doesn't say her name. I mean, it doesn't say how old she is. That's weird.
Yeah.
Doesn't even say how old she is. That's...
Well, that's okay. I did, and this is where I made the connection, or I made my note. His costume looks like Mark from Mark and Mindy. Mark's spacesuit for sure, with the big V on the front. But yeah, then they say we've got what we really came here for, so we're not going to want to stay on the planet. We're just going to go do our thing. Hopefully this doctor man will help us. But yeah, it's kind of a touching moment at the end where he says goodbye to Deanna, and she's like both happy and relieved that she doesn't have to marry him, and yet at the same time kind of disappointed. I think that comes across really well with the acting, actually, and just the way that her mother, kind of has her arm around her. It's really nice. It's a good scene.
Yeah.
And then the ship just wanders off into space.
Pretty much. Huh. Literally doesn't say how old she is in any social media, anything, so the world does not know how old she is. Okay.
Strange.
That is very strange. Yeah. And then it's one thing my dad had a problem with, because we talked about the episode of how, again, the ending falls apart. It's that Picard's like, well, the guy's like, oh, good for you, Picard. Thanks for everything. And he's like, well, yes, good on you. Good luck. And it's like, you're letting a plague ship leave? I mean, you can't do that. And since everyone wants them dead, and they'll take them a few years to even leave this system, or it's like, no, you call up the Federation. You say, hey, we found a plague ship that's killed. Like, you need to send an Obeth to monitor them for a few years. Like
Maybe that happened off screen. We don't even know.
I think it's because the ending is so like, da 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 da. Everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you dwelled on, okay, now we're gonna start this massive long mission to quarantine these people and make sure they're okay, but really send science teams, and do we now try and cure them? We thought they weren't cured, but now we're gonna cure them. Da, da, da. It's like it muddies the water, so they completely like ignore the repercussions of this. And
It's all
like,
off-screen stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they really dropped the proverbial energy ball inside the ship with the ending of their, because it's just bad.
Yeah.
The parents beam away, Roxana comes in, and you get the real moment, Stuart, where she flirts and tries to marry everyone in the scene.
Yeah, she wants Fort Riker, and Troy's like, nah, it's not happening. Oh, what about you, Captain? And then I love how Mr. Holmes speaks. Thank you for the drinks.
And I was like, oh, yes. I forgot you could speak, honestly. I forgot.
So did I.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, Captain, not even my old, really perverted guy thought these things of me. And because I was like, I'm going to hold my junk there. Oh, no. I'm like, is that real? And she's like, no, sorry, sir. She's joking. He's like, I was not amused. Yeah. But he's holding his junk. So I'm like, is that subtext? Is that a real thing? I don't know.
Well, he's not holding he's just got his hands crossed in front of him.
If he had an erection, he would be hiding it.
True enough.
Like, of all the places, like, behind his back, or, you know what I mean? Like, it works better as it being a real thought, but not. But I like that when she tries to go after Riker, Troy Spitty says, you know, he's got obligations. It's like, to me, bitch!
Yeah.
It's like, well, then ask each other out then, Jesus! Don't be so coy.
Yeah.
And they warp away and the episode is done. And no one and they completely forget they were there to have a holiday. Completely forgot, even though they've only been there about a day, and the wedding sidestepped them, and now those that booked the crew that booked shore leave, I guess don't get shore leave. Sucks for them. The captain forgot they were there for a reason. So again, not a great end. It kind of like goes downhill as it goes.
Yeah.
With a weird pace at the end. But Stuart, then we've now finished the episode. So what is your overall thoughts? More detailed, and now you can. Did our chat change your opinion? Do you like it more now?
Nope, I do not. Yeah, it's basically just a Shakespearean romance. It's kind of not really comedy, but a few comedy elements. Got that Shakespearean vibe to it for sure. Very much a star-crossed lovers, arranged marriage kind of thing. And we gotta, is it the right thing to do? Is it the wrong thing to do? You take the ships, you take the spaceships out of it, make them sailing ships, make them actually lepers. You know, you could turn this into like a story that's a couple hundred years old. Same kind of thing. Back when arranged marriages were more of a thing, it would work fine. And it's just a tale that can be told in any kind of genre, any kind of way, and it all works out. But overall, for all of TNG, I'm gonna have to give it a 2. For season 1, I'll probably give it a 3.5.
I think this might be your lowest reviewed scored one, actually.
No, I don't think it's below Code of Honor.
Are you sure?
I don't even remember. It's just a shit episode, so it's down there.
I think the problem is sometimes you can review an episode if there's a scene which really stands out as awful. Like, you can have bog standard with slightly more cool moments. You can have bog standard with a few bad moments. And so this one is like passable, but there's some bad things about it, which means it lowers it in general. Whereas there was another one that was passable, like basic, but had some really, oh, okay, that's a good moment, so it kind of raises it. For me, I think this is, it's not focused in the right way. It's all about the wedding plot, and then it swaps on a dime.
Yeah.
And they forget about things, they set up things, they forget about them, they throw in stuff that's not important, like the face we're on right now, that just cut and do something else with the money, please. The acting's good by Picard, by Troy, by Wyatt, by Mr. Hom, by Luxana, by Picard, like I said, but Riker's not very good in my opinion. I think Data's pretty good. I think Brent got the Data smile better. Like, it was a Data smile, not a Brent smile, for at least most of his smiles in this episode, which I thought was because early on he's doing a lot of Brent smiles, and there is a difference.
Yeah.
There is a difference. But for some reason, while I like it more than I did before, because I think there's some good dialogue, I think it's directed poorly. And
I agree with that.
And I think some of the scenes are just letting it down. And it's just not sitting that well with me. It's hard to... Like, it's not offensive, it's not bad, but it doesn't work as an episode. You know what I mean? Obviously not, I think you had similar thoughts. It just doesn't work. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And weirdly enough, her being Beta Z, which has played very little part in the show so far, having been an arranged marriage that even Picard disagrees with, it doesn't quite work either in TNG. You know? It doesn't... It comes across as weird. It doesn't quite fit the enhanced tonal vibe of we're in the future. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. This is like a tale that's hundreds of years old. It's been told many times over the centuries.
This would have been a better like Worf episode if there was another Klingon, because you'd have a more alien culture. Because Betazoids are human as far as we can. Like they're much more close to other races. Have it be human, Klingon or Andorian or Mott the Barber. You know, not even invented them yet, but have a more alien race. I think would have worked better. And then maybe have the aliens that you meet, you know. And I think there's things you could have done better with it. But Robert Knepper was great in it, as he often is. He's a fun actor. For me, I think all TNG, it's got to be right down there at the bottom. I think 2 for all of TNG. I think you said the same, 2 or 3. Season 1, I think a 3. It's not bad, but I would never choose to watch it again for any reason. Like, I would just skip it instantly.
Well, if I'm watching the series, I'm going to watch them all again, because that's what we tend to do. Sylvia and I, we watch like the whole series again.
Yeah.
So I'd have to watch it, but I would tune out a little bit more on this one.
Yeah.
No,
well,
it wouldn't be in my ones that I'd seek out to go watch.
Well, you'd be on your phone during a lot of it, and then you'd perk up during Loxana and during the middle scene, and
pretty much, yes.
But I don't.
That's one of the best things out of this episode is Loxana that carries on through TNG and DS9. So
absolutely,
it's got that little nugget in it that makes it a special episode. If you want to follow her story, you kind of have to watch it. So,
and she's great, you know.
Yeah.
She's really good. But yeah, so guys, now let us know what you think out of 10, both if you could, for TNG Season 1 and TNG in general, because they are different values. And just to reiterate, guys, we did the review of Discovery, and we were honest. And we're not biased. Quality is quality, and this one does not have the quality. And this is worse than many Discovery episodes, easily. Because the general doesn't quite work. You know.
Carlos says 2 out of 10 and 2 out of 10 for both scores. That was way back there.
Yes, let us know we want to hear what you think.
Eugene puts in 500 rubles. Thank you very much, Eugene. Would definitely rewatch it. Loxana is A plot and the rest is C plot.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the box. What's in the box? Oh my god.
It's Quark. Quark's in the box. Quark's in the box.
Minus 5 out of 10, says Mystic Marvel.
It's not that, bro.
3 out of 10 from Tinsgary.
Yeah.
2 out of 10. Yeah, so everybody's kind of on the...
Yeah.
Oh, 5 out of 10, says Raj. You're a very generous person, Raj.
I think this one would have been easy to fix. I'll say that. You know?
Yeah.
I think it wouldn't have taken much. It needed like a second draft. Fix. It had good character dialogue, bad story dialogue, and bad story stuff. And there's very, you know... It's like some episodes that the story isn't the main thing, the character's the main thing, and that can be amazing. You know? Different levels of each. This one kind of fails on the story side.
Jeff says 3 out of 10 and for TNG, and 4 out of 10 for season 1. 2 out of 10 from Ian.
Yeah.
Martin Devon puts in £2 and says this makes me
I don't even remember it enough to judge, honestly. Again, I watched Star Trek when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't really watch Star Trek per se. So this is like a legitimate me going through these things the first time, after the first time, watching, analysing, big screen, high def. You know, we had a CRTV until like 6 years ago, 5 years ago. I was watching lots of modern TV shows. I mean, I don't ever watch Trek on SD, bad colours, CRT, you know, with bad sound. I mean, this is the first time I'm watching it with proper speakers, proper, you know, video. It's, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a 2 out of 10 from Christopher Rollins. 4 if you like Gene's wife taking over the show. Basically, it was a Meg episode. Shut up, Meg.
Yeah. And Dan23 asks, out of 10, how much would you give the alien ship?
Oh. The alien ship's actually kind of a neat design. So out of a 10 for the alien ship, I'd give it a 7. Solid 7. It's unique, it's different, and especially if you consider that glowing plasma ball as part of their energy drive.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. So yeah.
I'd give it a solid 5. Totally average.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But it wasn't fleshed out, so you can't say, you know, what is what, who knows, where's what, no one knows. I mean, there's nothing to talk about.
Well,
I mean,
Trekyards should know.
Well,
that's our job.
Well, someone asked how we did an episode on it, and it's like, no, because there's nothing really to talk about. I mean, obviously we'd get Andrew on and talk about it, but it would be short and to the point.
Even he wouldn't know what to say. He'd be like, yep, Gene wanted me to make an alien ship of the week, so I made one. And he would tell the same story about the nacelle rules and the glowing ball drive. So I think it's actually referred to in one of our talks with Andrew.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, in the design rules episode, yeah.
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 So.
We have done so much content, Stuart. I don't know if you realise that, but we have.
Well, going through and rewatching these, we should actually make a list of things we haven't done. This should be on there.
Well, TNG especially, 'cause if there's no 3D models, limits us a little bit on what we can do. A little bit, anyway. But guys, I think that almost does it. I mean, we could talk about the Indiegogo again for a few minutes. Might as well bring that back up just in case. But yeah, not too much to talk about for this episode beyond the hour and a half we already have. So guys, super chat if you want to ask any questions, comments. Bring the let's see, where was I last time? So it's going to be, oh, that's you right there. Oh, why has it moved me to pounds? Don't want to be in pounds, stupid Indigo. I want to be in dollars.
Because of your IP address, that's why.
Nope, I'm in dollars every other day. I was in dollars all day yesterday, and
it gives me mine in Canadian.
I know, but I don't like it doing that. I literally I don't like it doing that. So yeah, here's the current Indiegogo, guys. As you know, we're trying to raise money to do 4 trips. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Or at least 4 ideas. And we currently have, like I said, it's changed it now, which I'm a bit annoyed about. But we have several $1,000s, which is awesome. I just want it in pounds. Show me in pounds, god damn it. I mean dollars. Oh, why?
Well, it's 6,876 Canadian dollars.
It doesn't tell anyone anything. It's 4,186 pounds, but it's $5,300, proper dollars it should be. But 43% of our goal, and that should say a lot. We made a lot in a short amount of time, which is awesome. But we still need your help. As you can see, we have 3 out of 30 Combadge bundles, which is awesome. 1 picture Trekyards live, 1 of the normal Trekyards Combadges, 1 of the Section 31 Combadges, 1 Eric Chu base star, 1 Rick Sternbach Voyager print. Guys, come on, Rick Sternbach Voyager. 2 John Eves Enterprise E, awesome. 4 DS9 Rick Sternbachs. Again, these are big prints signed by the designer. 2 out of 5 of the resin Combadges, only 5 left. 4 of the 15 limited Rick Sternbach exclusives. That's definitely worth getting before they all go. 2 Isaac Orville prints. 3 Kaylee Firefly. 1 Aiden Ford. 0 Patricia Talman.
5,265 US dollars.
Thank you. Yes, about what I thought.
And
One
Brian McFarlane is chanting Saladin, Saladin, Saladin. Sorry, I missed saying that.
Well, yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. One Michael D. Sakuda print, Signing Prize D. 2 Bruce Boxline out of 5. 0 Mia Furlong. 1 James Callis. 2 Kevin Sorbo Andromedas. 0 Marina Sirtis. 1 Michael Dawn. 0 Gates McFadden. 0 Nana Visitor. 0 Rene Aubergenois. 0 Picardo. 1 Robert Riley. 0 Ethan Phillips. 2 Anson Mount, because we do have Enterprises signed by Anson Mount. 0 Rob Duncan McNeil. No Walter Koenigs yet. 1 Anthony Daniels. There's 1 left if you want. That's it. The only other Anthony Daniels C3PO custom print. And all of the Shatners are sold out. So you had your chance. And those of you that took the chance got the prints.
Or will be getting the prints. They haven't got
Well, yeah. And how do you feel about that, Stuart? Because we're almost halfway in one day.
I feel impressed, but at the same time, I know that the last half is the slow slog. It's like, because everybody jumps on all the good stuff right away, and it's like, oh, we're doing really good, and then it just sits there, and it sits there, and it sits there. So I'm just like indifferent to it because I can't get excited. I don't get it.
At least we've got a good base, you know. I mean, it won't pay for Vegas yet. It won't this won't get us there yet. But at least it's, you know, we're getting there. And else it's been one day. We've got 19 more days. And it's certainly a great place to start. 43% in the first day. We should keep sharing. You guys can keep sharing. And we'll keep doing lives talking about it, and hopefully convince more of you to give and get some awesome ships, stations, and celebrity prints.
Ryan McFarlane says, "Hey Cap Commander, do you guys still have a Black Hole movie ship or robot review coming? I would love to do all the ships and robots from the Black Hole. I did a quick little thing on the Black Hole toys for the Captain Foley channel and for the crossover with the Junkman. But yeah, that made me want to do, because I love Vincent, I love Maximilian. The robots are really cool. Old Bob's kind of junk, but that's okay. But the Cygnus and stuff, Rob Bonchoon is a huge fan of the Cygnus as well, and would love to be a part of that episode should we do it. So that would be good. But yeah, it's something that I'd like to do for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Black Hole, so it'd be very much a learn for the first time sort of one, which would be fun.
It's worth watching.
Yeah,
if you like old sci-fi.
If it's good. Is it better or worse than Event Horizon?
Those are two different genres. One is
horror. They are. But Event Horizon, I think, is a underrated film.
I'd say it's about the same, maybe a little bit slower pacing than Event Horizon, but I would put them at around the same tier as far as watchability.
Nice.
But yeah, they're totally different creatures. This one kind of has a weird sort of very subtle horror vibe to it, but yeah, I would watch it if I were you. It's really good. I enjoy it.
Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, guys, who wants to be the last super chat of the night? Then we always ask for one last one so we can go while I'm playing the Indiegogo video while we're still on the screen, so you can see the campaign. Because guys, do support. We need the entire amount. And we'll do more lives talking about. We'll do some Facebook lives we want to do at some point to add that to do, different community will see them, and add hopefully some more special perks mid campaign. Hopefully it'll get you excited if we've either not close to reach our goal or that last little bit. We'll add some more we've got in the buffer, because we can't necessarily put them all out in one go, and hopefully we'll get the entire goal and can go to Vegas and do Vegas and kick butt and play games and then do lives and come back and be like, Stuart, I need a break. I know we've got lives. Shit.
We're gonna have to do a live where we go gamble away all the money we've earned from the Indiegogo campaign.
No, Stuart.
Try to double it.
We're still live. I haven't turned it off yet.
Oh.
Don't tell them.
Yes. Sorry.
Stuart, what are you doing?
Let's be responsible.
No, he meant on Dabo anyway, because Dabo always got a high chance of winning on Dabo.
Dabo, yes.
Or we'll
and move along home. Start on the second chop.
How much could we win if we play Almaray?
Our lives.
Holy hell! I don't even know what to think, Stuart, about that. Oh
Dreamer out there puts in $5. Happy
Ah.
4th of July for the U.S. and a day that isn't as important for the rest of the world. Yeah, we had ours. It was July 1st,
And
Canada Day.
for England, it's just a you betrayed us, you left us, you ruined the friendship of our nations. It's the we hate England Day. So as an Englander, I'm like, oh.
Ian Warrender puts in £2. Good night, and people check out Fleet Yards on Facebook. Yes, everybody join the Fleet Yards page if you're not a member already. That's where we do the regular, just all the other sci-fi franchises, and not Star Trek. So,
Yeah,
lots of cool stuff.
And Martin Devon, Sod the Fourth, I'm British. Yes, Martin, yes! We speak for the country that everyone came from, that's from Canada and America. Muha! Muha!
Jeff Jacobs puts in $2. I will pay for 100 on Faith. Have a good night. Oh, yes, thank you, Jeff. You too.
It's true, guys. 92 likes. Come on, and click that like button. Click that like button. Gotta hit
112
likes.
of you. We should have 100 likes. Come on, 8 people.
Come on.
Let's go.
92. I want to see that. I want to see that likes. Like. And Stuart, what's our live plans for the rest of the week? Because it's Tuesday. What is it today? What is it today?
It's
Wednesday.
today.
Oh.
Well, we're probably going to be doing another episode review tomorrow. And Friday, I don't know what we're doing. I know that you and I have to film earlier in the day, but I'm sure we'll be doing a live on Friday as well. Probably an Indiegogo. No, I don't know if we could do a full live out of Indiegogo. I don't know. I really don't know the rest of the week plans for the lives yet.
But we might be doing 2 more. So do enjoy, join along, have fun, come chat to us.
Yes.
And I think we'll probably do another live for Indiegogo like 7 days in. It's probably a good, say, 1 week in update.
Yeah.
Is a good one. 100 likes, Stuart, we did it. Woo!
Yeah. See, all it takes is asking. So everybody go check out our Indiegogo campaign as well.
Seriously, guys, there's some really incredible perks. I mean, if other YouTubers, that we follow did something like this that had cool things like this, I would totally donate. You know what I mean? Super ultra custom cool things. I mean, how many YouTubers do you know that do these sorts of amazing opportunities? I think it's kind of like just us. Of this sort of style, I mean, like of the sci-fi kind, So, I mean, how else could you get a Ethan Peck signed Enterprise? And that might be coming because there's a picture of him, maybe, who knows. That's a bit of a spoiler there, but that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, don't think we got any donations there, but that's all good, I'll just double check, just for the sake of it. 4186, just in case. No, but that's okay. So, guys, I guess we'll see you tomorrow for another thingy-mabobby.
And hopefully I can share it on Facebook, because I couldn't share this one, so I'm surprised as many people showed up as they did. I did share the little blurb and what was supposed to be a thumbnail, but it didn't really work out. So, because Facebook is acting wonky worldwide today, so hopefully tomorrow will be better. Keep your eyes peeled to the Facebook page, or check here at the same time, 5 Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you then, I guess.
All right. Until then, bye, guys.
I'm Captain Foley.
Oh, I'm Connor Coggins.
I'm...
Bye, guys.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. And just so you know, Stuart, I definitely saw your face in my dreams for years. And that's how I knew to pick you to then do the Trekyards. Da-da-da! It reveals! I spoiled the secret! Oh my god! Ah.
You poor bastard.
You stole my sanity. Bastards. Bye, guys.
Bye.